Welcome back. 8:40. Hillary versus the Donald. TMZ's Harvey Levin is in L.A. Good morning to you, Harvey. I'm assuming you watched entertaining, if nothing else, right?
Definitely entertaining. Definitely entertaining.
Yeah, you know, when you look at social media too, I thought it was interesting. We just talked about a poll, or basically some numbers that came out, and it said that 79% of Facebook attention and 62% on Twitter was about Trump. Favorable or not, people were talking about Trump. What'd you think?
Of course they are. You know, it's funny because going into it, one of the more interesting things I heard somebody say was that it was Hillary's biggest audience because of Donald Trump. She's never debated him before, and she was the beneficiary of the Trump factor in the sense that she had the biggest audience by far that she's ever had as a result. I don't know. My gut on this one, it's so funny because I watched NBC, and at the end, Tom Brokaw and the others were saying, you know, it probably didn't move the needle. And, you know, the people who are voting for Trump are going to stay voting for Trump, and the same with Clinton.
Right.
Then I turned over to CNN. It's like, she killed him. It was a knockout. It was like, what? Did they watch the same debate? And so I think it depends on the lens you're watching it through.
Right.
And I don't know. My gut here is that it didn't change a whole lot of minds.
You know what I thought was interesting, though, was while watching the coverage, they have these spin rooms that after the debate, they, you know, from the Republicans go in one room and the Democrats go in the other, and they spin.
Yeah, they've done that for a long time.
Well, this was the very first time, they said, that a presidential candidate went into one of the spin rooms after. We saw Trump go in, and then he starts, you know, talking to the media while he's in there, I think, and you could see on the faces some of the reporters that were there like, oh, Trump's in here.
I know, and they were really taken off guard by it. But you know, that's him, and that's his campaign, and you know, on a level, it's why he's been, I think, why he's been successful to this point, which is he hasn't done the see. The funny thing is, it's people are saying, well, he's not doing what politicians typically do. Well, that's why he's popular. Right. I mean, people are kind of sick of the, you know, of the tried and true methods of politics. And look, I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, I think that if there's any theme that's run through the last year and a half, it has been that, you know, all of the traditionalists in politics who have kind of written him off time after time. I mean, how many times have you heard Donald Trump is done? And he's not done. And so, you know, I think what he's done is he's blown up these kind of paradigms that this is the only way to run for office.
Let's talk about some crazy emotional moments at yesterday's Marlins baseball game. As the team took the field, they are mourning the loss of their teammate, Jose Fernandez. Some new details that you guys at TMZ have uncovered about what actually happened during that deadly boating accident Sunday morning. I mean,
I looked.
Yeah, what?
I can't, we cannot say definitively what happened, but what never made sense to me was this. He was an experienced fisherman, and they are going full speed in the middle of the night without life jackets near the shore where there are jetties. It just didn't make sense.
Right.
And so we found that there is a bar in Miami that they had gone to within 90 minutes of the time of the crash. And at this bar, you know, they were hanging out there. They got in the boat. They actually docked right up to the bar, and they left, and again, gunned it. Now, the authorities said on Sunday that there was no evidence of drugs or alcohol, and I think what they meant by that, in fact, we've talked to law enforcement sources there, and they've said that what they meant was that there were no beer cans or anything else, you know, in the boat. But that doesn't mean that they didn't consume anything, and they're doing toxicology right now. And I know that, you know, they're interested in talking to the bar because it would not make sense that somebody would do that when they're an experienced person. It is a terrible source, terrible loss. And I mean, this guy, not only beloved in Miami, beloved by Cuban Americans, but his whole story about coming over here and being, you know, caught 3 times when he tried to defect and having to serve prison time and coming here and then becoming Rookie of the Year.
Troubling.
It's really an amazing life story and just so tragic.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Harvey, for the updates. Appreciate it.
Okay, Lauren.
You can see TMZ weeknights at 11 p.m., weekdays at 3 p.m. here on Fox 4. You can also find a link to the show's website at fox4news.com. It's 8:44.